This is my entire LEGO Star Wars Imperial Army as of 2026. I have a lot of Army videos coming later this week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Start with the minifigures. Of course, I have the named ones like Vader. I have 3 different ones, of course, being Gingerbread Vader, the regular Vader, and the Smart Play Vader in the back. I also have Emperor Palpatine, as well as a bunch of other named characters. For non-named characters, I have 35, but including named characters, I have 48. I have around 5 droids, as well as 15 vehicles, and 19 other builds. I also have 2 custom figures, being this Range Trooper and Shore Trooper, even though I do have the official version. Here's a quick look at every single figure. Obviously, I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but I will go over some of them, like my favorite, the most expensive, as well as the oldest. My favorite is going to go to the Death Trooper from 2016. It's one of my favorite minifigures, even though it doesn't have the pauldron. I'm working on getting a brand new sealed critic shuttle for its 10th anniversary, but still, I love Rogue One, and I definitely think it is one of my favorite minifigures, excluding Imperial Army, which makes it definitely my favorite in my entire Imperial Army. My most expensive would have to go to either the Shore Trooper Commander or Vader. They go for around the same price, around $40 to $50. The oldest figure is probably this 1999 Scout Trooper, which is very, very nice because it has the helmet and head. The head is just completely black because the helmet is sort of see-through. It has that pocket there, like a lot of those older figures. One of my other oldest figure would be this 2001 TIE Pilot, which I really like because I do have the older, or I guess newer versions of the TIE Pilot, and you can see just how much less detail it is compared to those newer ones. And my newest figure is going to be this ATRT pilot or driver that came in the 2026 ATRT. That's one of the most recent sets I've gotten, and of course going to be the most recent person in my army, or trooper in my army. One of my favorite parts is my sort of Rogue One section here with the Shore Troopers and Tank Troopers, but I couldn't fit the Death Trooper here. I wanted to have his own slot in the front, and again, one of my favorite parts is this area in the front where I have the Dark Troopers, the Silver Commandos, and the Praetorian Guards in front of Moff Gideon, so it's sort of like his own armies in all these seasons of The Mandalorian, which I think looks really, really nice. Also, an honorable mention, I wanted to have his hairpiece on, so his helmet has a perfect resting spot above this Imperial crate, which I want to include as well because technically it does have the Imperial logo there. Of course, I can't fit them on the base plate, but I also think it looks better on the build, being at 2 Night Trooper battle packs, combining into one of my favorite alt builds, if not my favorite, this little trooper shuttle here with 1 commander in the front, as well as 2 death troopers on each side, and then 1 regular. You also have all the blasters, as well as a nice area for them to be seated. Got some blasters on the back, as well as a thruster, and even a little area there for a figure. It is pretty dusty, but definitely one of my favorite alt builds of all time. I also have a lot of builds all the way from a exclusive 2016 magazine, as well as some brand new sealed ones like this European exclusive foil bag. My newest one is obviously the ATRT, as well as the pillar behind here from the ATRT attack, releasing in 2026. The oldest one is, and my favorite actually, is going to go to the hover tank from 2016. Really, really love this one. It's very simple and medium-sized build, but it's also really, really nice. Of course, again, I love that Rogue One, and 2016 is going to be the year with basically my oldest. I believe this battle pack here, which has these Shadow Troopers and Shadow Guards, actually released in 2014, so that might be one of the oldest ones. I believe that released for Rebels. Another honorable mention would be this area here from the Dark Trooper attack, which technically takes place in Moff Gideon's light cruiser, which means technically it is part of the Imperial Army in a sense. I don't really like how it looks, but I thought it would be cool to include it in the actual sort of next to the Star Destroyer. Obviously, this is the light cruiser area, but I just thought it would be nice to include it. I was eventually going to fill it up with the Dark Troopers, but I think I like it a lot better next to this Moff Gideon area. And what I don't like is that one of them is actually missing a slot, so what I might do is actually take one off and put it on the like cruiser section, which I think looks really nice there. The most expensive build is probably going to be the Star Destroyer, but that's honestly just because of its size. But if I wasn't including the Star Destroyer, it would probably be the Gingerbread AT-AT, which is one of my favorites. Again, my favorite is going to have to go to the Hover Tank, and probably close behind it being the AT-AT Driver Helmet, which I think is a nice inclusion for this army in 2026. I bought it in 2025, and I believe it's retiring this year. One of the greatest helmets we've ever gotten. Definitely one of my favorites, and the first time I'm able to include it in my army, just like that Gingerbread AT-AT. Let me know your thoughts down below. Which one's your favorite build, figure, and so on. I hope you all enjoyed. Have an amazing rest of your day, and see you all in the next one.